Our next guest is a World War II veteran and one of the few that witnessed the flag being raised after the war in Iwo Jima. Now, this week he's in Nashville and he's celebrating not only his 100th birthday, but also a newfound passion for songwriting. We welcome to the program Don Graves, along with one of his co-writers, Jason Sever. Guys, so good to have you with us. Don, I want to shake your hand.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service and appreciate you being here. I'm already going to tear up just a little bit because I've read your story and I've listened to your song. Let's talk a little bit, first of all, about your time in the service.
Well, you know, you talk that way, and I think I'll go re-up.
He would.
And we I know you would. I know you would. Talk about your time there.
Let me have the question again.
Okay. What was your time in the service like? Let's revisit your time in the service, and what was it like being there when that flag was raised at Iwo Jima?
Went in at 17 years old, just walked out of school. Went overseas the first time. We were ready for combat. They broke us up. They broke the Raiders up, all special weapons. We formed the 5th Marine Division. It was called the Spearhead Division, this one up here on my cap. And our job was to hit Mount Suribachi. And there were 3 divisions. It was 8 square miles. There was something that people need to know. We knew nothing about a flag. Nobody had a flag that we thought. Our battalion commander had one in his shirt. And Harold Schreier, a lieutenant, he had a patrol, and they were going to go up around the side of it because they're throwing stuff down at us. We're fighting our way up. He said to Harold Schreier, he said, "Harold, when you get to the top, the skipper aboard our transport coming in, he said, wants me to put this up if we can. I don't know what we have, but see if you can find something."
Yeah.
So they got up there. They had a skirmish. They killed 3 or 4 Japanese. And then all of a sudden, they look around, they find drain pipe. Now, that pole you see with the flag on, that is drain pipe put together. And then a question came to me, what did they secure the flag on the pole with? Wire they found up there. So they used wire. And up it went. We reached the top crest like here, and it was over there, and up it goes. And 520 ships out in the bay opened up with their horns, rockets, everything they could throw.
So much history. Everything you're describing, so much history that day. And what the 80 years have gone by. You've just celebrated your 100th birthday. One of the ways you're celebrating is songwriting. Jason,
Yes,
that's one of the reasons you're here today. And
yes, ma'am.
I got to listen to that song. Matter of fact, I listened to it over and over this morning because one of the lines in that song was about 7,000 went in. And how many came out? What, 6?
7,000 killed.
7,000 killed. 7,000 were killed.
And only...
And it's, so that 6 people could raise that flag.
That's right. So that 6 people could raise that flag.
Yes, ma'am.
That particular phrase and that song has just buckled me to my knees. Talk about the experience in writing that song, Jason, with Don.
Well, I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me. It's nice to sit next to this man because everything about him is a song. I met a man named Don Weatherby on an airplane going towards Alaska. We were going on a fly fishing trip, and he knew that I worked with some veterans, and he said, we should exchange numbers. We found out that he knew Don Graves. He asked me to come down and do a show there in Fort Worth, Texas, and I wrote a song about Mr. Graves with my good friend Frank Myers, and it's called The Sands of Iwo Jima. And it's your life. It was nothing made up. Every single line was his life. Absolutely.
How did that make you feel, Don, to be able to be a co-writer and have your story in song? And I understand that John Rich of Big and Rich is now going to record it.
Yeah, we lucked out.
I'm glad for it because I don't do it just for myself, but for those remaining who aren't just a few.
Just a handful of people.
Yeah.
I mean, you were walking history. I also understand that when you were in the service, during that time, when you knew that life was short and that not everybody was going to come home.
I'm sorry.
That you prayed to God, if you get me out of this, I will serve you.
That happened on the beach.
That happened on the beach. Tell me that story.
Yes. Well, we all came in on amphibious tractors. No, the Japanese called them alligators with whales.
Alligators
And
with
so
whales. Wow.
the beach was loaded with Marines. We couldn't get off because up there 500 feet, they were firing down on us. We had to get off that beach. And I lay there face down in the sand. And I have to tell you, Depression kids didn't spend time in church. Not that we didn't want to, but we were ashamed of what we had. There was no money. Everybody was out of work. We were on welfare. So I'm laying there with my face in the sand with a 72-pound flamethrower on my back, a man on my left and right. And I prayed to God for the first time in my life. I said, God, if you get me off this island, I'll serve you the rest of my life. He got me off, but it took him 9 years to get me. And when he got me, he beat me up like a father that loves his son. And
God
he put
will
me
do
in the
that, won't
ministry.
He did.
For 29 years.
That is incredible. So
Yep.
after your service, you went into the ministry.
Yep.
And now, here at 100 years old, you're now into songwriting. Talk
Yeah.
about how we can hear this song and find this song, Jason.
Well, it's still yet to be discovered how we're going to be able to release the song. But we were lucky enough to have John Rich sing this song for us. We're really, really thankful. It's kind of a collaboration between Don Weatherby's. He's got an organization called the Texas Air Power Council, and I have a small nonprofit called the As You Were Foundation that I've begun, and that's what we do. We tell the stories of the men and women of the armed services. We will see about how we release the song. We're kind of flying by the seat of our pants.
Okay.
Right now,
well, I
so.
know right now that
Yeah.
God's already involved.
Oh,
so it's going to be out there.
I could tell you stories.
And you can go to YouTube right now and see it.
Yeah.
Again, I thank you for your
Oh,
service.
thank you.
I thank you for helping these veterans tell
pleasure.
their story.
My
You
pleasure.
guys, thank you so much. World War II veteran Don Graves and songwriter Jason Sever with us today.